I'm Dr. Julia Shaw, one of the hosts of the true crime podcast, Bad People on BBC Sounds. I am going to answer some of the world's most difficult ethical questions, and I'm going to pick them out of the skull. The first one is it wrong to want revenge? I think wanting revenge is fine. We think we're going to enjoy the revenge we take on others much more than we actually do. So you get more enjoyment from planning how to kill people who you really hate, for example, rather than actually going through with it, because then we feel guilty about doing a terrible thing to somebody else. So I guess what I would encourage you to do is live out those murder fantasies only in your mind. Keep it there, enjoy it, bathe in it, and then let it go. Is it wrong to be jealous? I'm not sure. So I think one part of me thinks that jealousy is usually from a place of insecurity, but that doesn't make it wrong. The consequences of that and the potential controlling behavior, I think that can be wrong. I mean, on a more fundamental level, I think that jealousy is totally f***ing overrated. People idealize jealousy to a disgusting degree. I think pop songs do not help. Ultimately, I would also encourage you to consider maybe consensual non-monogamy and other options rather than jealousy and cheating and all these other horrible things that people do to each other. Next one. Is it wrong to try and understand child sex offenders rather than calling them evil? I think it is wrong to not try to understand child sex offenders. What we need to do socially is to have grown-up conversations about tackling that and to prevent that from happening rather than pretending it doesn't. We need to make sure that we're putting safeguards in place to protect our kids. That's the answer to that. I like that it's out of the skull because it's almost like I'm taking things out of his brain. Maybe these thoughts are in all of our brains. Is it wrong to lie in order to make money? Isn't that just writing a CV? Is it just me? I'm actually not a doctor. Yeah, no, I am. I think that it depends on what the lie is and why you're doing it. Lies just for money that harm people or the planet, I think wrong, bad, ethically bad. Protecting people can be bad. That was a lie about lying about my CD. So if you're lying about lying, does that make you more or less of a liar? Next one. Is it wrong to murder a murderer? Murder, I think, is always wrong. Can you think of a situation where murder isn't wrong? Mid-killing spree. Not wrong to murder a murderer mid-killing spree. Well, I mean, maybe try not to murder them. Self-defense, huh? Have they already murdered, though? In war? But I guess we don't really call it murder if it's a soldier against another soldier. But if it's against civilians, ooh. But if those civilians are shooting at you, oh. These are hard. Is it wrong to fall in love with a serial killer? That's a great question. No, I don't think it is, but I think it's really curious that people do. It's not that I don't think people who have committed terrible crimes still deserve love. I think they do, but it's a question of sort of why some random person, usually a random woman on the outside, decides that this is the partner of choice. I mean, you've got Tinder, you've got the internet. Is it wrong to eat meat? Yes. I eat meat, by the way. I am a hypocrite. Research on this actually points quite often to what's called cognitive dissonance, which is when our beliefs are not in line with our behaviors. And so for me, it's all about trying to get closer at least. So each meatless meal is a win, aligning more and more with my belief that actually eating meat is wrong. And I think actually for lots of ethical decisions, that's a good point to learn from. Each and every single choice we make, we can move closer and closer to our own ethical compass and try to align how we behave and how we believe. I discuss questions exactly like these with my fabulous co-host, comedian Sophie Hagen, on Bad People on BBC Sounds, possibly your new favorite true crime podcast. Go subscribe and follow us and listen.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.